Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we need to have a discussion about Alaska's ballot measures. So, of course, you can see Alaska is a very libertarian state. Very libertarian. And I'm not surprised that they've totally kissed the ring of the left in this sort of election. It was a close one for Measure 2, and we'll talk about each one deeply. But let's talk about Measure 1. Now, Measure 1 passes 58%. That is to raise the minimum wage, okay? This measure would increase the rate to $15 per hour by 2027 and would ensure paid sick leave for workers. Why am I so skeptical, and why would I support the no option? Well, I think that this would only raise the taxes. You realize we give more money, more payment to people. You realize that where are you supposed to come up with that money, right? How are you supposed to come up with that money to pay to your workers? It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It comes from someone. It comes from the taxpayers, right? And ultimately, apparently Alaska, very low tax state, they support low taxes, but apparently they believe in the right to work. Okay, I would say a big worker state. Along with just the right for a paid sick leave. So yes, that's what it's saying. It would increase the rate to $15 per hour. I want to believe in every job in Alaska, and that's difficult to do. It really is. You realize, why haven't Democrats done it yet? They control the executive branch right now. We know that Biden has been big on minimum wage, raising the minimum wage in some circumstances. It's because, once again, things can fall apart in a economy like this, right? But apparently, I'm not sure what Alaskans were kind of thinking. I would be opposed to raising the minimum wage. Maybe raise it when the economy is better, where taxpayers can afford to get, because we have so many social programs, so many government programs going to the government. Taxpayers are paying for these government programs, and on top of that, we have to find a way to pay workers. We have to find a way to pay workers. Right? So it's confusing. I'm probably not getting everything right. But you'll see the massive mandate and the demand for this measure. 58% of the popular vote. A pretty big vote. 42% of the popular vote. It's a complicated thing. Minimum wage. California rejected the minimum wage hike. Wow. You actually thought California. Because Californians said, actually, we had enough of this. They are hurting over there by Gavin Newsom's big government. And when Californians reject a minimum wage hike, guess what? You know that Gavin Newsom's doing a bad job. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't want to spoil the upcoming videos. But you see what I'm talking about. You absolutely see. So yes, Alaska Measure 1 succeeds. 58% of the popular vote. No, with 42%. At least there's some sort of conservative. If everyone's like, yay! More money, more payment, that would be over to 90%. But it's barely going over 50%. That's because there's the other side's concerns on the minimum wage is of course, legitimate. Although they'll remind us Alaska is a red state. But I'll tell you again, it's a libertarian state. It's a libertarian state, pro-abortion, pro-gun. Okay? And they also believe in minimum wage increases. So it is what it is. Another ballot measure, a very frustrating ballot measure here. Ranked choice voting. You'll see this measure would eliminate the top 4 primary system and ranked choice voting in general elections. Okay? Apparently, I don't know if Republicans supported this or not, but California is a state I want to believe with ranked choice voting. There is, of course, a top 4 primary system in California. Well, I want to believe. Is it a top 4 primary system? I thought it was a top 2. But yes, it would eliminate that also. And the voters said, no, we want ranked choice voting. Well, I'll tell you, Republicans do benefit in Alaska with the top 4 primary system. I'll tell you that. Eliminating that could basically jeopardize their majority there. And I'm saying, hey, it's a red state. Yeah, but then again, we somehow got a seat back. This Democrat seat that originally was held by Lisa Murkowski. Well, not Lisa Murkowski. By Mary Patola. We somehow managed to keep that seat. We also managed to keep the Senate seat, 2022. You'll see interesting results here. By fact, you'll see there's a reason why the Democrats had no representation in the government in the general election. Why? And why is that so? Well, you can clearly see here going down. You can see that. Let's see. Yes, safe red, solid red, solid. Yeah, everyone knew Republicans would keep that seat. But the top 4 primaries right here. This is ranked choice right up here, okay? Here's your top 4 candidates. 3 Republicans, 1 Democrat. They thought this one Democrat, Patricia Chesbrough would actually unite the left in the Democratic Party. She didn't. Obviously, she didn't. She obtained 6.82% of the popular vote. That is a horrible, stupid performance. And because of that, there was the first round that was taking place. Okay? And as a result, on the conclusion of that first round, you'll see Buzz Kelly, along with Pat Chesbrough. Well, is that Pat Chesbrough? Yeah. Yeah, it's Patricia Chesbrough, but yes, Patricia Chesbrough, they've been eliminated. This is the first round. Not sure. And then again, here's the thing. This is all taken on Election Day for some reason. So they have the first round and the maximum round results on the same day. Isn't that stupid? I mean, I'm skeptical. I have reason to be. Why do we need to vote why are we paying for an extra race that we don't need to pay for? The state of Alaska claims that they're so pro low taxes, but they pay for unnecessary stuff like, sure, ranked choice voting, but this is just establishing an extra round that doesn't need to be established. This is unnecessary. Why do we need a first round, second round on the same day? Let's go to the 2024 United States Senate election in California. You could see California, unexpectedly so, because it's California. They do the same thing. Take a look. Well, this is presidential race. Take a look at this insane map. Yeah, look. You got a special election county results, regular election. Now, you know what? This is understandable. I'm skeptical on why they couldn't have scheduled this special election like a month before, or just had it in 2023. Jeez. Or had it earlier. But no, they can't, because then they have that silly primary, blanket primary. See? Blanket primary. In the said March. So really, it's just too tight. Too much. Not much time, they say. Not much time. You'll see there's the difference. Zero difference. Because it's taken on the same day. It's taken on the same day. So really, why do we have... We should just cancel the regular election and claim this is a special election. Why can't we just do that? These people. But yes, very close race when it comes to repealing ranked choice voting. So yes, it says this measure would eliminate the top four primary system and ranked choice voting in general elections. So, in other words, this wouldn't exist, and it would actually be like this that mattered. This map. This is the actual results. This map, it's fake, because you got Buzz Kelly and Pat Chasbro. They're running this race all the way to election day. Meaning that, yes, Alaska takes a very long time counting their votes. But even after election day, when most of the races are concluded, Chasbro is still in the race until they find out, oh, Chasbro, you've been eliminated. It's now between Kelly Shabaka and Lisa Murkowski. Breaking news for you. There won't be a new general election. There won't be a runoff like we usually would do if it was a normal state like Georgia, Louisiana, North Carolina. Nope. Not going to do that. This is what we do. We can't go and vote for these two candidates, because these two candidates are guaranteed, one of them is going to win. So basically, they're crossing out the third-party nominees. No, I can't even say the third party. You get what I'm saying? It's a ridiculous system. And I'm skeptical about it. But honestly, what's your thoughts in regards to these measures? I mean, so many people didn't like it. 49.9, like, why are we paying for an extra race? But we got a lot of fools. I can guarantee you some of them are Republicans that just say, yeah, we're okay with ranked choice voting. But it's just ridiculous. Ranked choice voting, yeah, it extends your options, and that's probably why a lot of people vote for it. But you realize we're paying for a race because these elections aren't free, guys. They aren't free. The government doesn't pay for them. We pay for the race, the elections, via tax dollars. The government doesn't just randomly, money doesn't just appear out of nowhere. Elections aren't free here. I mean, we support free elections. These are our elections. That's why it's really a big deal when they are suddenly rigged, because we pay for them. And here we're paying for a rigged election that we paid for. So really, it's not about our guy winning or their guy winning. If you're an abstract radical taxpayer, you will say, hey, you know what? I don't want my tax dollars going to a flawed election. Period. So, and I definitely don't want my tax dollars going to an election that we don't need to have. First round results, State House District. Yeah, there's, the only difference between this map is, I'm using 2022, 2 years late, but it's a perfect example of how skewed this system is. I mean, so, yes, you see, the only difference between this map and this map, sure, District 34 goes to Murkowski. Oh, that's because we have of course, Pat Chesbro and Kelly removed from the election. Same election, guys, but they just count the votes and discard and just count the votes in regards to preferences of Kelly, of Murkowski and Chewbacca, which totally defeats the purpose of Kelly and Chesbro. Very irrelevant of being in this race. So, a lot of talk. It's confusing. But these ballot measures are going to be very confusing. Some of them are. I'm looking forward to talking about the abortion ballot measures. It's something I know and am very familiar about. And I'm looking forward to talk about the failed minimum wage ballot measure in Alaska. A huge win in that, not Alaska, but in California. Excuse me. A huge win, especially when it comes to California. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.